From the ground I turn each spring and fall. Come the flowers, their bloom. You disappear among the weeds. You are the garden woman.
Herbalists, past and present, appreciate lemon balm since it's helped people deal with all sorts of health issues. Many sources praise its ability to cure almost any malady. Although I'm not an herbalist, I am someone who likes food which is also medicinal, and lemon balm is both edible and therapeutic. Leaves of this fragrant non-native perennial emerge in mid-April here in Western Mass. It has a square stem, like all mints, and is easy to cultivate. Maybe too easy as it spreads. The heart-shaped leaves grow opposite each other on the stem. They're wrinkled with scalloped edges. Flowers are usually white and appear from July through August. Its common name, lemon balm, suggests a citrusy taste. Its genus name, Melissa, means bee, and was chosen because the flowers are full of nectar to attract those insects. The blossoms are so small, I'm surprised any bees would bother with them. But they're there, just hard to see. Its species name, officinalis, hints at possible medicinal uses. This plant has staying power. Even after 2 frosts, it's looking mighty fine. I'm happy to have this plant in my garden. Do you feel out of sorts? Just bruise a leaf and sniff for an immediate dose of aromatherapy. That's why I call it lemon calm. Or if a meal has large amounts of garlic, chew a few leaves as a breath freshener. Supposedly, placing a few leaves in a pantry helps drive out those annoying food moths. I'll try anything to get rid of them. Its delicate taste enhances food. The edible leaves are what I use the most, although flowers are edible as well. Add a few leaves with other available plants to salads for a subtle lemony taste. Harvest leaves after the morning dew has evaporated. It's best to use fresh ones, since when dried, they lose much of their potency. Wash them as they tend to capture dirt. Trim the plant before it gets too leggy, so it'll grow more leaves. For a mild, lemony-flavored tea, steep 1 tablespoon fresh leaves in 1 cup warm water and cover leaves and flowering tops for 5 to 20 minutes to prevent volatile oils from escaping. This tea can be a base for cooking fruits. For a cooling drink, combine leaves with flowering sprigs of the cucumber taste-alike borage plant. It's a refreshing thirst quencher. Whenever I talk about greens, I usually mention pesto possibilities. So why not try lemon balm leaves, plus whatever greens are available at the time, to make your own besto pesto. I'm vague about what ingredients to use. That way you can experiment with different combos. Then add olive oil, pine nuts, garlic, Parmesan cheese, black pepper, and a splash of lemon to the mix. Because lemon balm's taste is due to aromatic oils contained in its leaves, freezing them in oil is a good choice. It's easy and helps retain their flavor. Tear the leaves. Place them in an ice cube tray and cover with olive oil. Then put the labeled tray in the freezer. Once frozen, transfer the cubes to a jar or freezer bag. Add some to pesto when fresh leaves are no longer available. By the way, since basil is often available at the same time, You can do the same process with its leaves. There's another plant that grows in my garden, which I often combine with lemon balm. I didn't plant this sweet Cicely here. It escaped from a neighbor's property to mine. It's one of the first plants to emerge in the spring, even when snow is still around. And these survived several hard frosts in November. This perennial member of the carrot family has delicate aromatic and edible fern-like leaves when young. As they mature, these widen. Leaves are dull green on top and glossy on their undersides. Stems have barely noticeable hairs and a slight groove that you can run your finger along. All parts of this plant have an anise flavor. This is important because other members of this family, like water hemlock, can be deadly. So, if the scent isn't there, it isn't sweet Cicely, and don't eat it. Flowers, young seeds, and roots are edible. Flowers have a subtle taste. When seeds are small and soft, they taste exactly like licorice. As the plant's leaves begin to fade, don't bother with the seeds. They become hotter and their flavor becomes much stronger. If roots are scratched, they release a licorice aroma. Since rhubarb appears at the same time as sweet Cicely and lemon balm leaves, I use parts of all three plants to make stewed rhubarb. First, I throw rhubarb's inedible leaves onto my compost pile. Then I go inside, wash, cut its edible stalks into small pieces, and place them in a pan with barely enough water to cover the bottom, as they release liquid when cooked. Rhubarb is tart, so it's often necessary to add plenty of sweetener. To lessen the amount needed, add a pinch of powdered ginger and handfuls of chopped sweet Cicely and lemon balm leaves near the end of cooking. When combined with sweeter fruits, this mix adds a lively taste to smoothies. There's so much more to learn about lemon balm and sweet Cicely. They're definitely plants worth knowing.
Long ago you learned to know the passing of the moon.